Hi, everybody. I'm Patty Lovell, the author of Stand Tall, Molly Lou Melon, and I'm so excited that it's been chosen the book of the week. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about my life, my writing process, and how you can use the book in your classrooms. My process is not typical becoming an author. My father was a great storyteller, and he used to tell us just verbal stories when I was growing up, and I feel that I got a storytelling gene from him. And I was teaching in New York City for the first book for Stand Tall, Molly Lou Melon. And I was taking a course at NYU, a continuing ed course, and it was called Writing for Children's Literature. And I was teaching that day, and then I got on the subway and I ran down 15 minutes before class, and I hadn't done any writing for that week. So I ran into the library, sat down at a cubicle in NYU, and this book, the first book, Stand Tall, just fell out of my head. Literally, I just put pen to paper and went. In 10 minutes, I wrote it. My book is dedicated to my brother Chris. It says Merry Christmas 1976 to my brother John Christopher Lovell. And that's because when I was 12 in 1976 and it was Christmas, I had no money to give my brother a gift. So I wrote on a little piece of paper, literally a ripped piece, a little piece of paper, I'll dedicate my first book to you. And he kept that paper. He thought it was a terrible gift, but he kept that paper all these years. And so I had to dedicate my first book to him. So it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy that I wrote this book so I could dedicate it to him. Because my editor is also my friend, we were just out and about in a bookshop one day before the book was made, and I was looking at different art and artists in picture books that I liked, and we saw a character he had drawn in another book, and I thought, oh, that was cute, and so she wrote off to him, and he wanted to do it right away, and it's funny because he made Molly Lou in a Victorian house, like, living in a Victorian house at the beginning, and I grew up in a Victorian house. There's always the discussions of bullying and anti-bullying and, standing up for yourself and for others. So there's that. There's also being proud of yourself and, who you are, no matter what you look like or anything like that. You should just be proud of who you are. But in terms of academics and the different programs that you might have, I think doing a web with characteristics and traits of Molly Lou is a good thing to do, especially in first grade when we talk about character traits and feelings. Definitely that's something that I do. You put a picture of her in the middle and then like a web of traits around, talk about them. I won the Georgia State Book Award one year, and I went down there and spoke at the University of Georgia. And afterwards, after my speech, I was surrounded by people telling me that they enjoyed the book. And the last person standing there was a man about 35 years old, and he was crying. And he said, I'm going to start crying. He said, my book really affected his young son, who was very short, like Molly Lou, and that it changed his son's life and made him so proud. I'm going to start crying. And he gave me a big hug, and I hope kids can find inspiration like that through this book. Okay, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this little talk about Stand Tall, Molly Lou Melon, and I hope that you always remember to stand tall and always be proud of yourself.